In 1809, the South China Sea witnessed something insane. A joint fleet from China, Britain, and Portugal was surrounded by a woman. 3 navies fell apart in front of her. And the craziest part? She wasn't royalty. She wasn't noble. She had once been a prostitute. So how did she flip the entire ocean upside down? Hey there, this is Emma Cole. Let's talk about the pirate queen who scared 3 empires, Zheng Yi. In the late 1700s, in a poor fishing village in Guangdong, a girl named Xianggu was sold to a flower boat, a brothel that floated on the water, because her family couldn't afford to keep her. In a world where men decided everything, she survived by being sharp, calm, and scarily good at reading people. Until one day, the most notorious pirate in the entire South China Sea stepped onto her boat. His name was Zheng Yi. What kind of man was he? Brutal, ruthless, a pirate lord whose name alone made government soldiers tremble. He stared straight at Xianggu. Do you know who I am? I've killed more soldiers than you ever met. Tell me, are you not afraid of me? Xianggu lifted her head and looked him right in the eyes. I'm not afraid of death, so why would I fear you? The entire cabin froze for 3 seconds. Even the pirate lord was stunned. He had never met a woman like this. Then he burst out laughing. All right, if you got that kind of courage, why don't you marry me? Xianggu lowered her gaze, stayed silent for a few seconds, then looked up and said something that shocked everyone on the boat. I'll marry you, but I want a voice in your decisions. I want a share of the loot, and I want half of the power. The whole crew gaped at her. A prostitute demanding power from a pirate king? Unheard of. What's even crazier? Zheng Yi actually agreed. From a brothel girl to the pirate king's partner. She was no longer Xianggu. The pirates now call her Zheng Yi, which meant Madame Zheng, and her legendary rise began here. 6 years later, a massive storm tore across the South China Sea, swallowing dozens of pirate ships. In the chaos of wind and thunder, the pirate king, Zheng Yi, was thrown overboard and died in the raging sea. And just like that, the entire South China Sea fell into chaos. 70,000 pirates were suddenly leaderless. Dozens of captains fought for power, seizing ships, killing rivals, betraying each other, their debts sold in blood. And in the middle of this madness, the weakest and the most vulnerable target was Zheng Yi. She was nothing more than a widow who had just lost her husband. No strength, no ships, no status. By all logic, she shouldn't survive another day. In the pirate world, power came from fists and blood, and she, a woman, had almost no chance of living through this battle for the throne. But just when everyone thought she was about to be torn apart, she didn't cry, she didn't run. She stepped forward. The pirates thought she would quietly wait to die. But the first thing Zheng Yi did was simple. She stabilized the chaos. Her first move wasn't violence, it was alliance. She calmly sought out her late husband's most trusted lieutenant. If she could win him over, she could control half the entire fleet. Zheng Yi opened with a sentence that left the lieutenant stunned. Do you want to stay alive? Then we work together, right now. She wasn't begging. She was giving an order. And it was an order that made perfect sense. Shocked by her nerve and clarity, the lieutenant chose to stand with her. This became the first pillar of her rise to power. Her second move was even bolder. She offered a deal pirates couldn't refuse. Zheng Yisao gathered every captain and made an announcement that froze the whole deck. She said, "Keeping fighting each other, you'll all die. Follow me, you'll make more money than ever." Then she laid out a brand new system for how pirates would operate. Loot would be divided openly. Rewards and punishments would be crystal clear. No robbing fishermen, no bullying the weak. Everyone gets their share. The pirates fell silent, because for the first time in their lives, they were hearing an offer that would make them richer than ruling by fear ever could. Then came her real weapon, the pirate code. Zheng Yisao announced a set of rules that shook the entire pirate world. Rob civilians and you are executed. Violate women and you are executed. Steal from the loot and you are executed. Disobey orders and you are executed. You heard that right. In the most brutal, lawless pirate world imaginable, Zheng Yisao wrote, "Protect civilians, protect women, divide loot openly into the law." And the wildest part? 70,000 pirates supported her. Why? Because under her system, they made more money, got fair shares, and far fewer of them died. She wasn't ruling pirates. She was reinventing piracy. With a mix of strict rules and smarter profits, she won the loyalty of all 70,000 pirates. One by one, the 6 major pirate fleets bent the knee to her. 600 warships raised the red flag, her signal that all pirates now obeyed one ruler. 70,000 pirates swore loyalty to her name. From that moment on, the South China Sea belonged to her. A woman who rose from brothel girl to widow to a warlord forged in chaos, used nothing but her mind, her rules, and her terrifying calm to become the most powerful ruler the seas had ever seen in the 1800s. And with that, her empire was born. But even the pirate queen was about to face her greatest threat. In 1809, the Qing dynasty, along with Britain and Portugal, launched the largest naval campaign the South China Sea had ever seen, swearing to wipe Zheng Yisao out for good. Everyone thought she would die in battle, because that's how every pirate story ends. But Zheng Yisao made a decision that stunned the entire world. She chose to negotiate. She walked in herself, with 17 women and children, carrying no weapons, and marched straight into the Qing governor's military camp. Then she laid out terms that sounded even crazier. She said, "I'll surrender every ship. I'll hand over all the treasure. But all 70,000 pirates must be pardoned. No chasing, no trials, no executions." Everyone thought she had lost her mind, but the Qing government, desperate to avoid massive losses, agreed. She wasn't captured, she wasn't executed. Instead, she was appointed a naval officer by the emperor himself. In the entire history of piracy, she remains one of the very few pirates who ever walked away with dignity. Zheng Yisao moved to Macau, ran trading businesses, and even opened a casino, and lived a quiet life until the age of 69. From brothel girl to pirate queen, to a wealthy old woman who died peacefully, her life was a legend no one could ever replicate. She proved one thing: true power doesn't come from swords or cannons, but from intelligence and rules. So what do you think? How did a widow survive among 70,000 pirates? Was it luck? Was it ruthlessness? Or do truly smart people always find a way, no matter the world they are born into? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy real stories that hit harder than fiction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next legend.